Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
We have a present for you.
Merry Christmas, bitches.
Or
Happy New Year.
New Year. Whenever
Happy
this
Hanukkah.
drops. Happy
Kwanzaa.
Whatever.
If you're an atheist, I don't know what you celebrate or what that even means, but either way,
It's a gift.
this is a gift.
It's a gift. This is the time of giving. What is it, Caroline?
Casey and Anthony.
Hey, I thought we were going to turn off the light. Yay or no? Oh, okay. Sorry. Casey freaking Anthony.
As you know, she recently did this, quote, documentary on Peacock. Now, this, okay, if you don't know Casey Anthony, like somebody else I know recently, you are living under a rock. Go back and listen to our episode on Casey Anthony. We have a 2-part episode of it. Go listen to it and then come back and then you can hear her side. Because now, after
10 or 11 years?
Yeah. How many years later is it? She's, for the first time, speaking out. Because
she was 25. I think she's 40 now. So however much. That's a long
no,
time.
actually, we're the same age. So I think it's 10 years later.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's all happened in like 2008 to 2008, 2011. Like it happened in 2008 and it wrapped up in 2011.
This case is as big as OJ's case.
Yes.
And people feel for her like people feel for OJ, or certain people. But OJ at least has people on his side. I don't know that Casey has many people. Like we could probably count on 2 hands the people that she has on her side, and they were actually in this documentary.
Absolutely. And also, what we're going to do is like a rewatch. So what's a rewatch?
Well, what we did is we watched it for you, and we're just going to go through it, like things we noticed, our opinions. This is not, this is research based off the story, but this is our own opinions. Don't go and fact check us, because it is the opinion of Bloody Happy Hour podcast.
Yeah. So we'll like, the best way to do this is to watch it. You can listen to it, but if you're watching it, you can kind of get a visual. So we are on YouTube. You can go find us, Bloody Happy Hour, on YouTube. And we have a little slideshow. So basically, we're going to go through slides that corresponds with how the episode played out. And I have notes. I basically wrote a dissertation.
Caroline just wrote a dissertation.
So I'm going to explain what's happening on this slide or what's happening here. And then we'll also give our commentary.
Can you show them? Them? Y'all, she has college ruled notebook paper that she has written. And then she starts color coding what she writes. And then she puts a staple at the top left hand of the corner of her notes.
This is what you call a professional. This is professional grade. Just so you know. If you want to know how to be a professional, I might do a class.
Buy a stapler and some single paper.
And a very good, like, not
ballpoint pen.
Is it ballpoint or fine tip?
Oh, fine tip.
I like it when it's like the small writing so you can get as many words as possible.
Yeah, that is good handwriting for somebody who types a lot.
I thought I had bad handwriting, but I'll take it. So thanks. Anyway, let's just get it started.
Mm-hmm. Episode 1?
Do we need a backstory or?
So what we're going to do is we're going to give you 3 different episodes. So we broke down episode 1. Then we're going to break down episode 2. And then the final episode 3 you will get.
So actually, you should probably go get a little bit of popcorn, grab your drinks, because you got to deal with this bitch.
Yeah.
So go ahead and grab it.
I don't even know that much of a backstory. I think it'll come as we're going.
Yeah.
And if they don't know it, stop and go watch something.
Yep.
And then come back to this.
So basically, we're starting off here with this documentary. It's called Casey Anthony, Where the Truth Lies, a.k.a. watching a lying liar who lies. That's why I renamed it. Yeah. That's what I renamed it.
Wait, I have to say this, Caroline.
Okay. Yes.
Did you go through this with open eyes at all? I mean, like an open mind. Like when you started it, did you start it saying, what's this bitch lying about? Or did you try to go in like open just to see if you could be swayed either way at the end?
No.
Blindly? No.
Okay.
No.
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I don't. I think, but this is from my,
Your opinion. Your point
this
of view.
is from my experiences, my life experiences. I feel like if you are lying that much and it involves your child and you are just constantly, I don't believe anything you say.
Okay.
You can't lie that much, as much as she did, and then come out and try to say like you're telling your truth, because it's still a lie.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
So
I try to go in. I would do the opposite.
I typically do try to go in like that, but at this, no.
Just because I wanted to have clear eyes.
Yeah, I that's a good way to do it.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, we have basically Casey Anthony here, and if you're watching it, they show a picture of her and then Kaylee, who is her little 3-year-old daughter, who was the one who was murdered and was missing for several days. And now the show starts off, it's like Casey Anthony has agreed to an on-camera interview for the first time since she was acquitted of murdering her daughter in 2011. So from there we go, and she's like moving into this house. Okay, so this is weird. This is kind of odd to me. So she's moving into this house, and the producers start asking her, they're like, okay, why are you moving into this house? And she says because she doesn't want to do this interview at her house because she likes her privacy, and she has a roommate whose privacy she takes very, very seriously. Oh, clock out. And I'm like, I don't know what weirdos decided to live with her, but so for this documentary, they're literally moving into a different house to shoot the documentary, which I thought that was a little weird.
But I could see why, because imagine if something like that was shot here in Waco and we saw like the side of the house or something. So many people would be like, oh, that's over there in Polo Park, or that's the so-and-so apartments. And then where would we be? In those apartments looking for Casey Anthony. So I see why she did that for her privacy, because people hate her.
Yeah.
They can't know where she lives.
And then she starts like pulling out all these like photos, saying that this is all she has left of her, referring to her daughter. She doesn't really say her name often in the thing, which is interesting. And what I found was like, this is another picture where it's like of a drawing, like Kaylee just scribbled. She just has framed these things of Kaylee. Like she's framed a picture of Kaylee. She's framed artwork from Kaylee. And now she's over here. Like this to me is a little interesting, because it's like she says she's carrying this framed picture of her and Kaylee around, and she's gonna hang it on the wall. Like, does she like carry this picture around with her everywhere? Because that's just what they're making it seem like, because she's like, I take this everywhere with me, and it just seems a little planned, which, it seems a little staged to me.
It's like they came in hot, like with her.
Yes.
Like trying to reveal her as a mother, I guess, more, because people can't really look at her as a good mother.
Yes, which is exactly what people did. They didn't look at her as a good mother.
Yeah.
Because she killed her daughter, allegedly. Well, according to me. So then she starts to say how she couldn't go anywhere without being photographed. And you're looking here now. This is in July 2018, and she's like a paparazzi photograph or whatever. She could go nowhere. All these pictures started surfacing, and now, as you can see in this picture, she has a little tattoo on her shoulder. You can see it. The next slide will show you a little more. And this is the tattoo that she got while Kaylee was missing. And what does this tattoo say?
Bella Vita.
And Bella Vita means beautiful life.
Yes.
In Italian. So your daughter is missing, and you go out and you get a tattoo that says Bella Vita, meaning beautiful life. So your daughter's missing, and you're getting a tattoo saying beautiful life. To me, that's a little suspicious. What is it to you?
It's just a little opposite of what you would expect any mom to do. Like, whatever reasoning she says it's a fuck you to her parents, right? Remember, she says that in the documentary. I got this was a fuck you to her parents. But she ends up getting that covered up, right?
Yes.
Do you have the new?
Oh, yeah, but yes, I do, but not yet.
Okay.
So then she gets this tattoo, and now she's like apparently partying. Okay.
Yeah.
So Kaylee's over here wrapped up in a plastic bag, and Casey's over here just partying. Okay. And she just does not seem too concerned about what's happening. They go and they start interviewing her. This is when they first shoot to her, and it's interesting because I watched the behavior panel, which is another YouTube channel, and they basically they will rewatch, and it's 4 guys. They rewatch different videos of people talking, and they'll kind of like describe like, oh, this maybe if a person's doing this is what it says to us. If the person acts like this, if they look this way, if they touch themselves here, whatever. Yeah. So they were saying she was doing a lot of like this the whole time. She's constantly touching her hair. She's fixing her hair. She's grooming herself. She's like very concerned about how she looks, that's what she has been doing this whole time. Like she uses her looks for her advantage, which I mean, I don't blame her. I don't blame her. So she's concerned about her looks, and she's like got her lipstick on, like she's just doing the most. Okay. At this point, she starts talking about what's happening. She says that now she just needs someone who will be willing to listen. Because apparently nobody has ever asked her why. Because that's what this episode is titled, I think, is Why. Okay. Like, why? I guess, I don't know why. Why? So she gets a little... So she says that she has to answer every one of the world's questions about her, meaning Kaylee, and what happened. And she goes on to say that she doesn't know what happened during this time. And as she's talking, she's making all of these like snarling faces. Between her eyebrows, she has that hard line, and it just, she goes through all of these emotions. Like she's mad, and she's sad, and she's angry, and she just seems to have a lot of rage in her face, and her teeth are exposed, and it just kind of just comes off as like disgust, and she kind of gets louder, and it just is a lot of different things that you see happening. Because like in this next slide, she kind of looks a little sad. So I'm watching it, I'm like, I've gone through this whole like wheel of emotions. Yeah. Happy, sad, mad, angry, everything. And now she's looking a little concerned. Did I go on the back? Oh, no.
So I felt like she was I'm not going to say rehearsing.
No, yes. I feel like she was coached, and I feel like it was very rehearsed.
Well, I don't know if she was rehearsing right now. I think she's already had it perfected. I think that she has practiced this for a long time, and she knew exactly when to say, like, how to say it, when to put in emotions. And what gets me about, like, her eye contact was on point. And what gets me about people who constantly make uncomfortable eye contacts, that's unnatural.
Yeah.
So you're working real hard to do that. Eye contact is very good. It's a sign of respect, right? But the wrong people associate that with truth. For example, Dirty Chad would make crazy eye contact with you. And to make you, like, I would look off, right? And I don't have a problem with eye contact. I would look off. But I think they think that means if I look them in the eye, they're going to think I'm not lying.
Yes.
And that's what I think she was doing. And these facial, like these brow expressions and everything, like, she knows the facial expressions to make to show the feelings that she's trying to make people believe that she's actually having.
She's very, it's very reminiscent of Amber Heard. Not to just because I like to talk about all that, the whole trial, but there were so many similarities as far as facial, because Amber Heard would be like, she would make these like faces to try to bring out emotion, and it just wouldn't work. And this is like, it just felt like she was just trying so hard and it was forced, and she just like smashed all these different emotions together, and it just, I don't know, it didn't seem very genuine.
Yeah. I disagree though. I think that she could fool a lot of people, because though it might not have been genuine, I think she did a good job.
This one, Casey? Not Amber.
Not Amber. Yeah, Casey.
Yeah.
I think that she did a good job. And so, for example, on my book club page, I posted a picture of her and I was like, what are y'all's thoughts? And half of the people were like, I'm not watching that bitch.
Yeah.
The other half were like, I look at this totally different. I now feel bad for what I said about her. And I do think the dad is sketchy. And then the other half was, then the other third was like, she's lying. She just has had 10 years to practice her lies now. Like, she's still lying.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. Like, what did I tell you? She's real good. Like, she was good.
Yeah. No, she's great. She's a great manipulator. Like, she's got it down. So then now she's over here. She's talking about how she has social anxiety. I'm trying to figure out which one. She has social anxiety. I think this goes back to a couple of slides where she says that she can no longer go to crowded places, but she's at the bar and she's able to go out and do all these things. So I don't know how she has social anxiety. And then we get to, they're like, on the documentary, they now have a picture of the swamp, which I feel like is a little odd because I'm pretty sure that's about where Kaylee was found. So it's like, why are you trying to show a picture of the swamp? I don't know.
Was she found by? I thought she was found by a highway.
She was found in the woods, but then it's like the Florida swamps, and it's just weird. So then the defense team, this is where they're talking about how they start giving her, like, they gave her money to get back on her feet. Okay, this is what they've been working, and this guy is named Pat McKenna. He's a lead investigator on her case, and they've been working together for 10 years. He works as a criminal on criminal defense cases, and it just, I don't know. I thought this whole thing was weird because...
Well, tell them what's weird. Like, she went to live with him after the trial. So he wasn't just working on her case. Like, after the trial, she got out of jail and she had nobody.
Because what they didn't mention is that she had filed for bankruptcy. because she couldn't afford to pay for the trial. Because if you don't remember from the episodes that we did, she actually was caught doing like some sexual stuff with Jose Baez, which is, if you don't notice, he is not in this documentary. And we will tell you now, he is not in this documentary. So I think it's interesting that her lead head, like, attorney, her defense attorney, he is not in this. And then there's this random old guy who, like, she's like been living with, who
since the trial, like,
since
I don't think
the trial,
now, but for years.
Yeah.
And he talks about how he welcomed her into the family, like their family. She has spent every holiday with them.
He makes it sound like she's a hero.
And her kid, and like his other kid. And he makes a point to say, because they ask him, have you ever caught her in any lies?
Yes.
And he says, no, never.
No, never.
Never. Never have I ever.
Never. Not even a fib.
Not even a little small white lie. So to me, that's just weird. Maybe it says a lot for his heart. Like, is he fooled by her? Or maybe she was giving him some sexual favors too.
I do think so. So, and also she's like working for him now.
Yes.
And she says, quote, "I will always work for the criminal defense of others, so others are not railroaded like I was." Yeah. And it says, still not one bit of regret of what the daughter suffered. Oh, that's my notes. It's just all about her. She talks about how she lost her life, but she talks about how she lost her life. She's not talking about how Kaylee lost her life. She's talking all about herself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think this was like staged. Like, I need them to know that I was living with you. I need them to know that, like, we're family. I need them to know that I've been productive and I've, like, look, I wear glasses and I type. And look, I work on law cases with you and I try to help people who've been railroaded like me. Like, I need them to know that I still have my daughter's scribble scrabbles. I need them to know that I still have her, what's that little sonogram thing? Like,
yes.
Make sure this is all a part of this. I need them to know how great my hair is. Like, it was still very much
how put together I am.
Yes. How put together.
How I have multiple pairs of these fancy glasses that cost a lot of money.
That probably aren't.
They're not from Amazon like mine. No, they're not. Okay, then they play the original interview with Casey Anthony's mom. Which this is where she says that she does not know the involvement of Casey in the disappearance.
Kaylee.
Okay, that's gonna be a.
That's what I did. Yeah.
It's yeah. So the mom talks. She doesn't know what's going on. And then we have the detective come on. This guy's the lead detective. He talks about how Casey just lied so much. She lied about working at Universal Studios. And he then... Oh, this is whenever they go to the apartments of Zenaida.
Well, let's go back to Universal Studios.
Yeah, go back to Universal Studios.
The whole point of her coming on and doing this is she's admitting to how much she lied. Mm-hmm. She's doing what liars do, is they tell, and this is like what I've said this about Dirty Chad a ton of times. He told small bits of the truth inside these humongous lies to make you think, oh, he's being vulnerable enough to tell us this. Of course we're going to believe this, right?
Yeah.
Well, she is admitting that that's what she did back then. So she's even like calling her own self a liar. But she has to, because everybody is doing it. So there's the cops talking about when they go to Universal Studios, and like she gets all the way to the point down the halls, and then she's finally like, "Sorry, I don't work here." And then that's just building up her case of, yes, I was a liar. Yes, I was a liar. But this is why I lied. This is why I lied. And so so she started off with the Universal, and then what was the next one? Zanny the nanny. So her friend lived here, right?
Yes.
Her good friend lived here. And there is a person named Zanny, named Zenaida or whatever.
Yes.
So she says, a little bit of truth inside of a big old lie.
But what, like, I'm not even going to go off on a tangent. We're just going to talk about the facts.
Now, the friend, whatever her name was.
Mm-hmm. I think she comes up in a little bit. So this is so Casey tells the police that Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez was the babysitter. They go to this apartment. They find that the apartment's vacant. And of course, there's no questions or mentions of it after. But, like, so this apartment complex is the apartment complex that the friend lived in. But it wasn't the same exact apartment. So she basically was like, oh, this is where she lives, because that's where her friend lived.
I thought it was crazy that she knew where a vacant apartment would be. Like, how did she know that to tell him to go to this apartment number and that it was vacant?
Well, that's true. I don't know. I don't know.
I just
that's
thought
interesting.
That even back when you told the story, I was like, how did she know that this...
Unless unless her friend lived there and then moved. I don't know. I don't know. Well, so after the police officers took her to, they went with her to Universal Studios. When they took her there, they knew she didn't work there. They were taking her there just to see what she would say. Yeah. Because that's what they said in the trial. Because I watched a little bit of the trial. So then as they're, like, they catch her in her lie. They catch her in this lie. Now she's arrested. She's arrested for lying to the police. Yes. So at least they got her on something. Then she has her first phone call with her parents after being arrested. And she's over here. She's like, oh, I saw that you just had your first little cameo on TV. That's what and she's like just a little bitch on this call. And she's like, no remorse. She has no emotion. She's just angry. She's angry because her mom went on TV talking about Kaylee and talking about her. And she's pissed. And she later says that she's like this victim of abuse, and like she's not scared of her mom at all. She's like angry at her mom. And it's just that she's just the worst. It's like she had to keep it together, like, because she had to talk to the cops or something. I don't know. Then like word starts getting out. She ends up getting out of jail, bonding out of jail. Okay. And now there's like everybody knows about the story. Protesters are out. And they like are demanding that she goes back. They're talking about how she's a baby killer. There's a sign that I have. It says, what does the sign say? Ain't no maybe you killed your baby. Like, there's all these protesters out here. Honk if you think she did it. Everybody's angry. They're like talking about how she's convicted. Like, she's a liar. She's admitted to being a liar. All this stuff. And then we go on to talk about how they start showing all of her pictures about how she's been partying, which we already know that.
So here. Yes. Because I don't want to recap the story. I know that they know the story. Yeah. I want to recap how she's her rebuttal to all these stories, right? Like, so they know the story. They know she went partying afterwards. But a rebuttal to her being partying was her friend saying those were pictures from like years ago. Like, those weren't real-time pictures of those 31 days. Yeah. Some of them were.
Well, oh, yeah, which that comes
some
up.
Some of them were
because this
is...
is...
21st birthday.
Yes.
And the media screwed it up. I don't even know what episode. was this in episode 1 or 2? But the media screwed it up. So like,
yeah. So she's up here partying it up, and well, this is how the episode goes. She's saying that she's partying it up, or they're saying the episode says partying it up instead of searching during the 31 days. This is when she steals her friend's checkbook.
oh yeah.
She steals a friend's checkbook and she goes shopping for herself, and she's going all over town. She's shopping. She has no kids. She's not upset. Nothing.
So what does she say about that though? What's her excuse for that?
She didn't have an excuse. She said she said she was numb and she just didn't care. Like she had no feelings about anything.
And that she did what she saw her, like, she was trying to say she did what she saw her dad do.
Right. I don't think she revealed that in episode 1. I think it was like the next ones. I think.
Okay.
But then they go on and they show this calendar of that Casey, like this is her calendar, or
Her calendar right now. I mean,
it shows a
It's
calendar.
2008.
It says that this was like a calendar, and that it says on July 3rd, that's when she went to get her tattoo. And on July 4th, it says, if you can see it over there, it's highlighted and it says party. So it's like, is this what you do when your child's missing? And I don't know. It's like, what does it say? Go back to her boss, and he claims that she never lied to him after the 10 years. I mean, I don't know. This is just what they're talking about in the episode. Then we have this Clint House guy. This is former friend. Tony Lazzaro, which was her boyfriend at the time.
mm-hmm.
This is his roommate.
Yeah.
Okay. And he said she was a great mom. She gave attention to Kaylee. She was involved. But he did say that the month Kaylee went missing, she acted completely normal. She lived her life. But he did get...
He
got real mad, and he said she did absolutely nothing in the search for her child, and that I will never forgive her for.
Yeah. So I guess the point of them bringing him in was because at first he was like co-signing that she was a good mom. She always had this little backpack with Kaylee and Kaylee's toys. She was always taking tons of pictures of Kaylee. Like, she seemed like she was a great mom, so he was shocked when everything happened. But now that he found out what happened and knew that she was missing and that she knew she was missing, he was like, everything up until that point, like, that part didn't make sense.
Yeah.
That you did not do anything during this time that you knew or thought or whatever. That your parents was missing.
Exactly.
And I just watched episode 2 yesterday. So I felt like in episode 1, she is talking about the checks, writing a check she didn't have. She was just wanted to feel good or whatever. But that she was doing like what her dad did. And remember the stealing? Dad stole money or $40,000 or $60,000 out of mom's retirement or something, early retirement. Like,
I feel like that was that from the trial, because that wasn't, or is it in? I didn't watch episode 3 yet. You don't know. Well, then after we get this guy, then we have her former friend, and I feel like she does this thing where she gets ugly. Well, no, this girl's not ugly, but like friends that aren't on her, like she's like hot shit, and she's trying to get friends who are like tag-alongs, who she can manipulate them and convince them to do what she wants them to do, because she's like the better looking, like more attractive one. Like that's my thing.
Well, we don't know what she looked like 10 years ago either, right?
I know. I'm just being judgmental and going how I feel. But this is her former friend. This is the one that she stole the checkbook from. And she says that Casey used to lie about everything all the time, but she is sure 100% that she did not lie about Kaylee. She did not kill her daughter. She got a tattoo of Kaylee on her. That is
weird. Friend got a tattoo of Kaylee?
Yes. This girl, obviously, I feel like, this is my opinion, she was manipulated by her like skinny girlfriend, and she feel like she idolizes Casey, and she just is like, she would not lie about this. She would not lie about this. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way.
But she did admit that she thought that it could have been an accident.
She might have.
She was like, I don't think she would have purposely do it like maliciously, I think.
Yes.
But she says if something like it was an accident and that she tried to cover it up. That was the only thing that she would like go as far as to saying, because she thought Casey at the time was head over heels for her daughter.
Yeah. So that's all I have for episode 1.
Episode 1. Okay, so next is episode 2. And tune in to that. Let us know your thoughts so far of episode 1. If we missed anything that you liked or didn't like, then just comment under the episode notes.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Email. Let's talk about it. And then if you send us an email or your opinions before we record the last 3 episodes, we'll go through them like at the end. Like we'll go through everybody's like thoughts, like maybe when we get to the end, like questions, opinions, whatever.
Good idea.
I think that's good. Like
I think so too.
Q&A at the end.
I love a Q&A.
All right, see y'all for episode 2. Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be GTF.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.